So let's look at the word intimacy first. It just means closeness. So being close, whatever that may mean to you, physically, mentally, emotionally. You have to know your partner in terms of what does intimacy look like for my wife. That may look like, oh my God, she may get turned on because you're holding the baby after you just cooked dinner, where she's just trying to catch up on sleep. And now that she's well rested because you stepped in as a partner, and she's just like, you know what, go ahead and put that baby down because I'm about to put it down on you. So it's about understanding, what does intimacy look like for that partner, for her to be in a state where she's relaxed. And I feel like a lot of men make this mistake in terms of just trying, where they'll think of all the different ways, but that may not be what she needs at that moment. So really understanding that, and understanding she needs her me time. And just saying, hey, I don't know what you're gonna do for 2 hours, but I need you to leave the house. Go do something for yourself. I booked you a massage, whatever it is, but to step in and just feel like, okay, he got it. All right, I'm gonna have you later.
Right. I love that, because that is one thing that postpartum I actually struggled with. It's like, I can't be forced to be this mom, to be a mom all day. And then as soon as the kids go to sleep, you're expected to be this wife. And it's not just a wife. It's like, it's nighttime, it's sex time, be sexy, do this. And it's like, I'm leaking milk. I probably haven't showered. Like, you know, all of these things. And there has to be something that kind of warms me up or like brings me back into that zone, because that immediate turnover isn't as quick when you have kids.
And do not be afraid to schedule sex.
Oh, that's such a big,
because the thing is, with a new child, you can say, okay, I'll catch you in the morning, but that child wakes up with a 101 fever, and now it becomes all about the child again. And what I feel like a lot of moms don't talk about, and a few moms have told me, where they begin to resent the child in terms of, you know, me and your dad were great before you came along, that type of thing. But because you're supposed to be this perfect mom, they don't talk about it. And now it's just like, listen, I've taken care of this child. I have cooked dinner. I have been a wife and a mother all day. And now you want me to be your little porn star? Yeah, that's not going to work. That's not. Now, if I know tomorrow around 12, your mom's come and get the baby and it's just going to be us, you can schedule that time then, because you know that child is no longer there for like those 1 or 2 hours. It's about you and that partner, but you have to be on the same page with communication.
Yeah, I agree, because I'm all for scheduled sex. I think that, look, I have everything else on my schedule. I'm like, that's important to our relationship. It needs to happen. And it's not that I need to have this major prep, but maybe I want to shave my fucking legs.
Yeah.
You know, like something
you just want to come
simple.
up on me, and it's just like, one, I have not showered. Ew. And that unexpectedness, it causes anxiety, because it's just like, don't get me wrong. Yes, I can get horny now, but now I'm wondering, okay, if you try to eat me out, if you try to do this, I feel like, okay, what if my vagina's, you know, not that ripe right now?
Right.
And it's like, now I have to think about, now I feel like a new mom. I'm getting used to my body. Now my vagina has not been washed all day. And now you want to hit it. Yeah. And I'm trying to run.
Yeah.
And now it's just, but if I know, okay, at 2 p.m., I can prep, I can feel sexy, I can do all the things then.
Yes. And it's not that deep. It's just the little tweaks and a little bit more time to come in and just feel somewhat like yourself.
Yes. And fellas, let me just say this for the dads who are listening, for the husbands. We appreciate you when you say, we don't care, we love you how you are. Thank you. But it's one of those, I don't need to hear that.
Yes.
I just need to hear whatever makes you feel sexy. That is not, we have to feel it. No matter how much that does not mean stop telling us. Please continue to tell us. But allow us the space to just feel how we feel in that moment and support us in what may make us feel better.
No, I love that piece of advice. So any guys that are listening, please jot that one down. One thing I want to chat about is like, your industry, specifically with the classes that you're teaching, and because it does highlight sex, I feel like sex almost overpowers what you're actually doing. And that is education and relationship building. I mean, just from your Instagram, of course, I got sex and sexy, but I was so happy to scroll upon like, oh, riding for people with bad knees. Like, y'all, I'm a runner, okay? These knees are not like they used to be. And I was like, I do need to use my heels. You're right.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Use your heels. Like when people talk about the bouncing up and down, I'm like, you're doing that by yourself because even I don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. No. Right. You're getting these heels, baby.
All heels, all heels. No, I love that. But you're teaching so much more outside of sex. And I think that there is one conversation that's so big, and it's creating that safe space to stay open-minded towards sex. And then also to let your partner know what it is that you want.
Absolutely.
So what, as far as suggestions, do you think that sounds like?
Let me say this, and it's going to sound so simple, but stay with me and it's going to make sense. So when you and your partner are like watching a movie and a sex scene comes on, let me tell you something about men. Just because they don't speak on something doesn't mean they're not paying attention. They pay attention to what you say, your opinions, all of the things. So let's say a sex scene comes up, right? And you're like, oh, I would never. Oh, she's so, and you start getting judgy. Mm-hmm. He's paying attention to that even though he's not saying anything. And then it's going to make him more closed-minded as to how he expresses himself to you.
Got it.
Because it could have been something he wanted to try and was just like, oh, that kind of, it's a little freaky. That's outside of, but I would be willing. But when you completely just dismissed and you judged her, now he's going to completely just be like, you know what? I already see where that would go. I'm glad I didn't say anything. As opposed to, oh, that's different, babe. What do you think about that? And giving them the space to just kind of be like, they're going to test the waters and be like, I don't know. What do you think? Right. And just staying open-minded and just saying, hey, I'd try almost anything once.
Right.
And that, okay, maybe I can have this conversation with her. But just being mindful of how you judge certain things will almost kind of tell your partner what they can and cannot bring to you.
Mm-hmm. What if you want your partner to do something differently in bed or to stop doing something? How do you frame that conversation?
You always lead with positivity.
Yes.
And when I say that, I mean, let's say there's something that you love that he does, where it's just like, babe, I love when you suck my baby toe because it just feels so amazing. But you know what I could do without? You know that other thing? It just doesn't do much for me. But that baby toe, baby, keep doing that because it brings me all the pleasure. So on top of that, what do you think if we try this?
Right.
Now I'm telling you, stay away from this. I love this, and this is what I want to add.
Got it. And it almost too like keeps I don't want to say keeps the conversation going, but like mentally they're not stuck on that negative comment anymore. Now we're getting into an exploratory avenue where they have room to make suggestions or like say what they want to try. And so I love that because we're not focusing and staying in one area of negativity.
And I always say have a check-in with your partner, whatever that looks like for you, whether it's once a month, once a quarter. Because as you get older, as the hormones change, as the kids come into play, sex will look different in every season of your life. So that question of, hey, babe, with the kids and all of this, what does sex mean to you now? What does that look like? It may be something where you're blowing off steam now as opposed to it being a physical connection. So always just staying in the loop of what that may mean for them.